before that beat kick in. Be there listening, like when Cardi recorded her song, how it's a minute before that beat kick in. You want people to just be sitting there listening, like feeling you what you talking about before you just come in and talking that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They're listening, like when Cardi.
Child, what is this ghetto mess? So before we get started, y'all know, as usual, stuff on Twitter always erupts early, um, i.e., whatever this is, and I just want to highlight a little bit of it. Also, too, who's in the building? Welcome to Nosy Bystanders Live. I'm your host, Chief Nosy Bystander. Let's see who's in the building, y'all. Because, honey, smash that like button on your way in. Don't be ignorant. I shouldn't have to ask twice. Hello, Nosy Inquisitive. How you doing today? I put this in here pretty earlier, pretty late at night, because I think I began this live stream at night. But October must be the month of scams or something. I'm not entirely sure what's happening. What's up, Courtney? Benicia, hey Benicia, how you doing? Mysterious by Nature, how you doing? Hello, Nicole. Hello, Cammy on the go. Hello, Jasmine. Hello, where's the tea? Hello, Goddess Ladybug. Hello, Kenya. Hello, Brenna Love. Hello, Auntie Tonisha. Hello, Lioness Queen. Hello, Unapologetically Mimi. Hello, Dear Journal. Hello, Veronica Ola. What's up, Dio? What's up, Mysterious by Nature? Hello, Missy. Hello, Ruth. Our Virgil. I see Mink. Hey, I see Mink. Socialite Simone says she has arrived. Welcome her. Is it Mox Then Beauty? Hello, how are you? What's up, Markeisha? How you doing? She's Snow, Anastasia Washington. Hello, Anastasia. I don't know if I've ever seen you before, but welcome. There's what Amanda said. What's going on? Chat a whole lot. What's up, Missy? Oh, hello, Renata. How you doing? So everybody in the building, come on in, slide on in. Don't be shy. Smash it like when I way in. Don't be ghetto. Hello, Janelle. Hello, Jacqueline. Hello, T Creek. Hello, Kenya. Hello, Brandy. So today's story is not what's going on Twitter with Cardi B and our girl from City Girls, JT. I'm going to try to sum this up to you in one big soundbite. JT did a feature on Nicki Minaj's song Super Freaky Girl, and Cardi B believes, I guess in her head, that they have enacted revenge against her, all the girls who were featured on the song, which includes a lot of women. Last night, if you don't remember, Azalea Banks said that Nicki Minaj she allows women to do features on her songs in order for them to attack Cardi B. And look what happened today. Isn't that crazy? Listen, if you don't believe me, go directly to Azalea Banks's Instagram. She posted it, but she said that last night, and I was up last night. She said it about midnight last night. So, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just gonna just start randomly believing everything that comes out of her mouth because she was absolutely correct. She said that. She said, I think I have the video for you. Hold on, I'll play it for you. And then we're gonna get into Yachtnik, which is why you're probably here. So give me one moment. Let me pull that up for you right now. Because the video is crazy. Okay. I think this is it here. Okay, let me play it for you. I'm gonna stop sharing this screen and share my other screen.
Really wish like don't drag me into this shit now. I'll rip your fucking head off. Like don't drag me into this fucking
Last
bullshit.
night.
It's like cheap, low scale bullshit. The fuck are you screenshotting shit from 4 years ago, bitch? The fuck?
Wait, it might be this one. Sorry, you guys. Y'all, it's late, but let's get into this Azalea Banks tea.
I came here to let you guys know that I am fake and phony as fuck. I'm fake and phony as fuck. Nobody likes you, Nikki. Please stop doing lame shit. Screenshotting like messages from 4 years ago. No one cares. I don't even think the barbs care anymore. The barbs are like, the fuck.
The swearing is so gross to me.
Like I feel like she gets like those weird like church gay barbs. You know, the ones that like don't really know whether they're coming or going, and they'll go and like do all this like dirty work for her, dirty work, whatever it is. I just think when you have that much stature, there's so many other things you could be doing. Like there's so many other things you could be doing than like collaborating with girls who can't rap. The fuck are you doing?
I don't believe
it's
that.
so like desperate.
Okay, so if you're sitting under a rock, then you should know that Nicki Minaj did a song called that she's wrong about a couple of things. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Azalea Banks, but her saying that the women that Nicki Minaj collaborates with can't rap, that sounded like hate. And not hate like Azalea Banks wanted to be the one who gets a feature with Nicki Minaj. Not that. It just sounds like I'm a better rapper than these women. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I can't co-sign that because JT definitely ate on the Super Freaky Girl remix. Akbar V definitely ate on the Super Freaky Girl remix. So I don't know what that was. So, but she definitely uses, Nicki Minaj uses her power and stature to be able to hold on one second, I gotta fix something on my camera, but you'll still hear me. Nicki Minaj does this because she enjoys using these women as pawns. You know what I mean? Like she enjoys using these women as her to do her bidding, the same way she does with her audience. And that's where it gets to me, that's where the sinisterness, like the sinisteriness comes in, right? Using her essentially her co-workers and her co-workers, the people who features on her songs, and her audience to do all her dirty work, which is so disgusting. But so now that we got that out the way, I want to actually focus on this other story, why we're actually here, because I got wind of the story last night, of course, on TikTok, and I wanted to talk about it because I think the story is really interesting. First, I'm going to make a very short-winded speech about what we're about to watch, because we're going to be watching a series of videos, you guys, about this company called Yacht'NIK. And let me share my screen so you can get an idea while I get the videos pulled up. Now, I don't know a whole lot of history about Yacht'NIK. But Yachtnik is owned by an individual by the name of Jeremy Moore. And Jeremy Moore has started this like all inclusive package trip for Black young millennials and zennials, and where you can go yachting around the world for, it's not cheap, but for, I guess, a good price. So Mr. Moore sells these packages, and based off of their Instagram following, Yachtnik seems to be super duper popular. And I'll actually pull up their Instagram and you can see it for yourself. It's quite popular. Let me see. Let me stop sharing that here, and then we'll start sharing this screen here. Okay. This one here. Okay, now I'm not gonna lie to you. It looked like a whole lot of fun. Okay, it looked like a whole lot of fun. I'm gonna turn the volume down because of some of these songs are copywritten. But these Black millennials and zennials look like they be having fun. But that's where the story gets like really tough, right? Because a lot of the individuals who claim to have purchased packages with Yachtnik seem to be getting the raw end of the deal. And let me go ahead and pull up the two videos of the two instances that I want to share with you here. Just pray to God that they're in my phone, because sometimes, honey, sometimes they don't be. All right, hold on one moment. All right. Hold on one second. All right, here's the first clip. Let me pull it up. Okay. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Okay, thank God I found it. Okay, let me go to the video. Where is it? Was it this one? Okay, so this is, hold on. Okay, so this is by the content creator by the name of More is Better. And I'm going to play for you the videos now. Give me 1 second. All right, stop sharing my screen. I'm going to read some of your comments while we get to it. I love roll call. Everyone else does. Oh, we in here. Okay. This from Tiny. Tiny says it's Monday and it's been ghetto all weekend. Child, the weekend is extra ghetto. And I don't even understand why. Like, I don't understand why it's so ghetto, but here we are. Okay. Hold on 1 second, you guys. Let me get into my TikTok. Okay. I don't know why TikTok always logs me out. That makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely zero sense to me. Like, just let me in. Oh my God. And I don't ever remember my password. It's like they changed it or something. Let me try this. They do that all the time. I'm like, why do you guys log me out? Just leave me in. Oh, that was it. I got it. Haha. Got you. Let me save that password. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Where is better? I hope I spelled her name right. Okay, here she is. So you've probably already seen this super viral video of hers, but you're going to watch it again because why the heck not? Okay. She said she pinned it at the top. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to find the video. I want to find the first video so you guys can get very acquainted with our good friend, More is Better. One moment, and then I'll share my screen with you. Here it is. Haha. Okay, let's begin, because this is gonna be a wild ride, and we got all day. Okay, let's begin. All right, I'm gonna make my screen teeny so you guys can pay attention. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, let's hit play.
year ago when I found out about Yacht'NIK, I was super excited and I started to plan this journey from Norfolk, Virginia, all the way to Seychelles, Africa. And me being me, I wasn't just going to go to Africa and visit Seychelles. I made a whole East African tour out of it. I visited Kenya, I visited Tanzania, I visited Zanzibar. I was able to spend quite an extended period of time in Africa leading up to the Seychelles trip. And when I got to Seychelles, I thought it was going to be luxurious accommodations and beautiful people and vibes and this curated experience that I had been roped into believing, but I was scammed. I was scammed by Jeremy Moore and his company Yachtnik. And when I arrived, we were given roach infested catamarans and the bare minimum. So now, over a year ago, when I found out about Yachtnik.
Okay. Now let's get into part 2 because she's got a series, and there's also another series on Instagram that we're going to get to from 15 weeks ago. Okay, so let's get to her part 2. Okay, so she posted this here.
Yeah, so Yachtnik is super popular, especially among Black travelers. If you haven't heard of it, it's this luxury experience with these enticing individuals, beautiful people, curated vibes, DJs, all inclusive accommodation. It really sells itself on social media as the go to event for young, upwardly mobile Black professionals who love to party and network. And you can do all of this on water, you can do it in exotic locations. Who wouldn't want to go to this, right? But it's a scam. It's a scam. It's not all inclusive, it's not luxurious. Jeremy Moore has hidden under the guise of the Yacht Week, where he has hosted events in Croatia, which was the catalyst of his popularity. And he diverted from his partnership with the Yacht Week and tried to host an inaugural event in Seychelles by himself, which was a complete and total debacle. The timeline is still unraveling. What we do know is that the funds were misappropriated and not allocated correctly so that attendees could have an ideal experience. I am a week 2 Seychelles participant. I'm just getting back in the country. I've been in the US for less than a week. So it's been a whirlwind of, being out of the country for almost a month and then coming back and dealing with this. So what I can say is this: I'm not accusing Jeremy of anything. I'm standing on the facts that my credit card receipts are at $6,000 for Yachtnik for an all-inclusive, luxurious accommodation at sea. I did not receive that. I received a roach-infested catamaran, a top sheet for bed linen, parties and clubs that locals could go to, no exclusive events. I was not provided any transportation to any of these events. Basically, it was chaotic. It was dangerous. And Jeremy also submitted fraudulent documentation to the country of Seychelles to get us into the country because he had not chartered those yachts. So he inadvertently made us accomplices as well. So there's that. Please follow for more updates. A lot of people are talking and sharing their stories.
So let me say this. The last part that she said is kind of a big deal. So she stated that Jeremy, according to her, had not submitted the proper paperwork in order to be able to facilitate business in the Seychelles. Now, let me tell you why that's important as somebody with a political science degree. Okay. When an individual is doing business in another country, according to the UN, You must register as a foreign agent. Otherwise, you could be immediately deported from the country, because every country has the right to know what you're doing there if you're not a national, right? If you're not born in the Seychelles, what are you doing here? If you're doing conducting business here, we have to know. So it's funny that she mentions that last point, because it tells me that she's been doing her homework on him. And she knows that he's probably not registered as a foreign agent. That's why in the midst of the event, he was scrambling to get everything together. He could barely get the yachts together. He couldn't get the hotels or the catamarans or things of that nature. He couldn't solidify anything because he's not a registered foreign agent. When you're not a registered foreign agent, you can't do business. That's like somebody from Tokyo coming to the United States to try to open up a business. It's like, what? Or they're trying to do Japanese business here. You can't do that. You can't do that. You have to register as a foreign agent. You have to let that nation's federal government know how much money you're working with, what you're going to be doing with that money, and so on and so forth. So it's funny that she mentions that little last part. That's very interesting. Let's get to part 3. And also, I wanted to make reference here. Somebody in here made a comment. Let me pull it up. Pauline says, save your passwords. You're in academia. I am not in academia. I may have a degree, but to be in academia means that you lecture. I don't lecture at any university or college. I want to make that abundantly clear, because I don't want people to get that idea, because that's fraudulent when I don't. Okay. So I want to make sure we make that clear. I am not in academia. I just have a degree from Elmhurst University, but I don't teach anywhere, not at a university, not a community college, nor in any private entity or charter school. So let's just make that clear. Okay. So no mistakes, but you can get in a lot of trouble pretending to be a professor. Okay. Let's get to part 3.
Wow. First of all, thank you for the encouragement, for the interest. Wow. Wow, thank you. I'm happy to share as much as you all are willing to listen, in all honesty. I'm happy to have this platform, no matter how small it is. But it seems to be getting the word out. So please continue to share my story and countless others, because the participants of Seychelles were not the only ones impacted by Yacht'NIK. It goes to Croatia. He has another trip coming up to St. Lucia and Martinique, so they will have stories as well. It goes to his past business ventures, which is a whole expose that needs to be done. But
now let me just pause this, because I could not find anything on Jeremy Moore. His name is so generic. I could literally not find anything on him. So I would like to figure out what she meant by his past business ventures. I don't even know what the man looks like, which is wild to me. But if anybody knows what he looks like, or any of his social media, not Freaknik social media, not Yachtnik social media, but his social media. If anybody knows where I can find his Instagram or Twitter page, please send it our way at Nosy Bystanders here on Facebook, as well as on Instagram or Twitter. Just send me his, because I want to do a little bit of digging into this guy here. But let's get back into this story.
She's asking me for a part 3 here. And it's probably going to be longer than that, but I'm happy to try. Like I said, I'm new to TikTok. I don't really know how to use the green screen. I think that's the next thing I need to try to do. But let's get into it, because people don't care about Black women, especially when Black women are wrong. So the fact that y'all are like, get them, sis, go. I'm going to do that for y'all. Basically, prior to the dates being released for Yacht'NIK, we were given a what's included infographic. That infographic has been archived. It's no longer available to the public. The first thing listed was a luxury yacht. we were not provided a luxury yacht. We were provided a catamaran. And it was a bare bone catamaran, which means it did not come with the hostess. It did not come with a skipper. It was old. It was bug infested with roaches. So there was nothing luxurious about it. That's number one. So when I tell you the baseline of luxury accommodations were not met, services were not rendered, money was not allocated properly to deliver an experience that will make you go, wow, I have to write home about this. I mean, it was slated as an all-inclusive luxury yacht trip. That's what it was slated as. And we did not receive anything all-inclusive. At the last minute, Jeremy told us we would not have a hostess, which is a chef that would cook our meals on the boat. And he told us about the skippers, who are the captains that drove our boat. So like I said, that's part 3, but I guess I need to do more. Well, I'm a girl's girl, so lean in. It's juicy. It's chai tea. Basically, to get straight to the point, to enter into the country of Seychelles, you need to submit a travel authorization form within 5 days of your arrival. On this form, you have to prove that you have accommodations for the entire time you are in Seychelles. That means if you are staying in a hotel, that hotel needs to be paid for. You need to show them a receipt of that payment, and you need to submit it to the country of Seychelles for approval. If you're staying on a yacht, do you see where I'm going with this? If you're staying on a yacht, those yachts need to be chartered and paid for in full to ensure that the attendees can enter into the country. Jeremy Moore submitted fraudulent documentation saying that he chartered yachts for about 60 Black professionals, and no yachts had been paid for. No yachts had been chartered. The timeline is still iffy. The timeline is still to be determined. We don't know when Jeremy purchased the yachts. We don't know what Jeremy did with the money. But I do know for a fact that Jeremy sent me fraudulent documentation to submit to the country of Seychelles. I was not made aware of this until I was in Africa, after I had already submitted my travel authorization form, because I, giving him goodwill, never thought someone would do that, cross an international border and jeopardize the lives of over 60 Black people, as well as their own business license, for greed and manipulative purposes. But if you want tea, that's the tea, sis, and it's piping hot. We're talking international fraud here.
So, just to make it clear, she went to Africa prior to this trip. She was already in Africa. So she had booked a trip to Africa privately, and then she saw this trip to the Seychelles, like, wow, I'm already going to be in Africa. Let me add this onto the trip. Okay, so I just want to make that clear. So a lot of people are like, she thought she was going to stay in Africa for $6,000. No, you guys, the trip alone to the Seychelles, the all-inclusive trip was $6,000. She had already been touring Africa prior to this trip. And then from this trip, she was going to make her way back to the States. So this trip was supposed to be her last stop. Okay, so I hope that's clear to everyone. No, she did not spend $6,000 for a month in Africa. She spent $6,000 on one all-inclusive trip to the Seychelles. Okay, all right, let's get back into this.
I mean, that's kind of the mic drop right there.
And also, I'm not trying to be rude. I know she's new to TikTok, but her storytelling um is really fucking annoying. I'm sorry, you guys. It is. The way she tells stories is very annoying. I hate to sound nitpicky, but just spit it out. Just spit it out. Just tell us you got scammed and how did you get scammed? Just make it simple. She's gonna learn very quick on TikTok that this is not Instagram. We don't care about theatrics and what you look like and all the pretty angles and the pretty stuff. Just get the story out. Okay. Everybody on TikTok is there. TikTok is really we're at our wits end with everything. We're done with Facebook. We're done with Instagram. We're done with YouTube. We're done with, all of them. We're done with Twitter. TikTok is the final stop of social media. So just spit it out. We don't want 28,000 parts. Just tell us. Okay. But let's continue.
It probably gets worse the more we talk about it, but I think that's what people really want to know. This man went to all lengths and all efforts to make this seem legitimate by forging documentation. Yeah. Well, yeah, so there were two very well written articles written about Seychelles Yachtnik, both weeks 1 and 2 from a week 2 perspective. I'll share them. So this was written by Shamika Jennings, a week 2 participant who I met in person. I can validate her story. Every single thing she experienced, I experienced, except for the boat mechanisms malfunctioning. My boat sailed perfectly fine. We did not have any mechanical issues. That's the only thing I did not experience. But everything else she said is spot on. It's very thorough. Um, she doesn't leave you hanging because there's also a part 2.
So this is just her. This is the final part of her series. She's just explaining to watch this article, but there's tons of stories like this. We're not going to be listening to the article. We're actually going to be listening to someone else. And let me share my screen with you here. Okay. So this is the story we're going to actually be listening to. It's a lot of parts, but she does a really good job at piecing it together. So let me read some of your comments. Yeah, you guys, like, I'm not trying to sound mean, but honey child, spit it out. Just say it. I don't know if it's age or impatience. I just don't have the patience for people to be talking so slowly. Just use that's what editing is for. We wanted just high fast editing. Just tell us really quickly. Or is he a scammer? Okay, just tell us. Okay, I hate sounding mean like that, but just tell us. Also, too, before we before we start her series, I want to make this abundantly clear. Black people, y'all gotta stop. Okay, like y'all have got to just stop. What are you like this whole like fight for luxury is like killing black people and their pocketbooks. Okay, this whole I just gotta have a luxury vacation is like going to be the death of black people. Like seriously, like y'all get a fucking grip. Luxury has a chokehold on black people, and they will pay any amount of money to any vendor to get it, whether it be a luxury lace front wig or a luxury apartment or a luxury vacation or luxury shoes or clothes or nails or a car or a luxury job. The luxury lifestyle has got black people in a death grip, and I just cannot understand why. And I think black people need to just wake up. Like, just wake up. Wake up. Damn it. Like, what is the deal with black people just killing themselves just to do something luxurious? It's like, it's not, who cares if you're doing something luxurious? Who cares? Those days of Instagram are over. No one cares for your highly chopped up, airbrushed photos of you in the Seychelles Islands. Nobody cares. And if you still have people that you have to impress on Instagram, you need a therapist and you need a real life lesson on what it means to have real friends. Because if your friends are only going to stick around you based off of your aesthetic being luxury, you need new friends. Those friends that you picked up at your private, HBCU that cost you $150,000 to graduate from, those friends, those alphas and those kappas and those poodles, get new friends. Because it's every time I see it, it's always Black fraternities and sororities out scamming each other. It's always Black fraternities and sororities out trying to outshine each other with this luxury lifestyle. It's never anyone else. Name a Black person who pledged to Kappa, or a Black person who pledged to like Phi Nu, or a Black person who pledged to what is it? The Teeks or the SIGs. It ain't never those Black people. It's always the alphas and the deltas and the poodles. Okay, y'all, it's y'all three. I don't know what the poodles are. I forget what their name. I think they're like Theta something. It's y'all three who be out scamming each other. Sick of y'all. Okay, I'm sick of y'all. Okay, let's get into her story. Okay, let me add her back. Let me get to some of your comments while I load her story up. And this from Britta Love says, but remember, Steph, it's not a blogger. She's just telling her story. I'm not talking about the blogger. I'm talking about Black people who have this I have to have a luxury lifestyle death grip around their neck. I'm talking about them. But yeah, I got what you meant. You said trying to keep up with the Knowles, trying to keep up with Beyonce. Beyonce, not thinking about y'all. What's up, apartment wife? Says, I saw a girl get the luxury floating breakfast and it floated away because she couldn't swim. Like, what was the reason? What was the reason? Not the poodles. Yes, honey, the poodles too. This from Margaret. Margaret says, I'm just going to make a note of who she didn't say, child. Poodles are AKAs, whoever they are. Y'all know who I'm talking about, right? They're blue, yellow, and gold. Blue, yellow, and white. The poodles. I don't think AKAs are poodles. Who's the pink and green ones? Them heifers. Who's the pink and green ones? Them heifers too. Okay. Zetas. Yeah, Zetas. Got you. Yes, them three. It's the black and gold for the men. And the teaks too. Them too. They're red and black. Them too. The blue, yellow, and white, them hoochies, and the pink and green ones, them. It's those four. It's those four fraternities and sororities that got you on a chokehold. AKA it's pink and green. Yeah. Sigma the poodles. Yeah, they be making me sick. Okay, let's get into her story time. I think it's this one. I'm gonna let it load. And then she does part 2. So let me get to part 1. Hold on. Hold on. Where did she post part 1? I think this is part 1. No, this is part 2. Is this part 1? She didn't label part 1, so this is gonna be a toughie. I can't remember which one. I think this is part 1. Oh, here it is. Yes.
The present. I think I'm just gonna hop into the story time to let you guys know why I've been freaking out for like this whole week on Instagram. So here we go. Okay, so the whole thing started, my friend invited me to Yacht'NIK, which is basically an event run by the Yacht Week, which is a 7-day cruise in Croatia. If you're not familiar, the Yacht Week runs an event in Croatia every single year where they take you around to different islands on a boat. It's supposed to be super fun. Yacht'NIK is a partnership with the Yacht Week ran by Jeremy Moore of Omega Sci-Fi Fraternity, and it was basically a black luxury. So essentially, Jeremy, AirJair32, created an event with the Yacht Week to have a black version of a cruise that they normally run. Okay, so the next couple slides are going to be what is included when you book a Yacht'NIK package, just so everyone knows. Oh, this brings me to the first issue with Yachtnik, which is the price inflation compared to the normal Yacht Week cruise that you can attend. So for the route we took, which is the basic Croatian route, the Yacht Week offers their package beginning at $856 per person. It is important to note that when you book through the Yacht Week and not Yachtnik, you have to add on additional things like gas, fuel, food, host skipper, just so you know. Okay, so just for the sake of argument, I went through the Yacht Week's profile and pretended like I was going to book so I can get an idea of what their total would be if I actually like booked everything. And in this like fake example, I picked the option where everything was included to most closely mimic what we would have paid for on Yachtnik. So I'm going to show you that now. I tried to do the same thing on the Yachtnik's page. They don't really allow that right now, but I'm going to use my package as an example of what the sample cost would be, just so you guys know. So the Yacht Weeks package is about $76.50. Yachtnik's package is about $93.60. That's like $1,700 difference in price. I don't know exactly how many people were there, about 300 to 400 people. I'm going to estimate 300 people. So that's an extra $513,000 Yachtnik had. And mind you, we booked the most basic boat. And then there was also like hella extras that you can add for like floaties or events or like COVID testing, which is like very important and to come back later. So, and I don't really know how they set this up, but in my mind, it's like kind of designed to scam your friends. Cause like if you look at the price breakdown, it's like kind of almost looks like it's $2,800 per person, but it's not really. To me, it's giving like, oh, get 3 friends to come and you'll get a free vacation type vibes, like very much pyramid scheme type vibes. But that's just me. But to be honest, I'm like, la, 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 living my life. So don't even mind it. Pay the money, get ready to go. Like, yes, it's all gravy until like 15 days before the trip starts. Okay, boom. Okay, 15 days before the trip starts is like really where all the drama begins. And they hit us with all these extras that we need. Security deposit. Are you guys going to be booking tables? You guys want floaties? Extras, extras, extras. They're like, there's not going to be power aboard. You need to buy solar panels. No, like rolling suitcases, only duffels, like hella shit last minute that we need to buy. Baby, there's no power. Okay, I just want to like remind you of how they advertise this because no power? Is that luxury? What the? Okay, one second. Wait. Mind you, I'm still very much la 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 living my life. So I'm like, whatever. We're like going to be camping on the ocean. It's going to be great. It's fine. Like I can do this. I'm going to be in Croatia. Bye. Okay, so it's day 1. We go to check in. We get there at 1. Our boat is not ready until 6. So we're like waiting all day for our boat to be ready. But we're like, yeah, we're so excited. But like security deposit needs to be paid. Okay, so our security deposit needs to be paid before we even step on the boat. So in addition to the 93.60 we paid, we have to pay another like $3,000 security deposit. Okay, but you know I'm traveling with the material girls, so money's no object. We can fucking pay that. We paid that, no problem. All right, let's get on the boat. Mind you, we ain't getting no gift bags. Where are gift bags at? So like I was saying, we did not get any merch, no gift bags when we checked in, but honestly, we're like just really excited to get going. So we go on our boat, but baby, why is the liquor missing? I'm not going to go try to look up like the drink package, but we just basically got like one of every major liquor, but we were like particularly supposed to have a bottle of Hennessy's and like 2 bottles of Moet champagne. So our package included breakfast and lunch every day, and then 2 dinners on the boat. And then every other dinner we had to eat off the boat, but we paid for hosts and skippers. No hate to any of the hosts and skippers, especially Lucas and Lizzie. You guys did such a great job. So it was no problem feeding them. It was more like a communication issue. Like, why didn't we know that ahead of time, you know? And again, we started with the $93.60 all-inclusive package, $3,000 security deposit, and we now have to pay dinners for our host and skipper for the whole week. So I would say that some of the issues started revealing themselves night 1, especially with like the water taxi issue. Again, keep in mind there's about a $500 surplus because they overcharged us. Okay, there's 500,000 extra dollars. There's about 300 to 400 people, and there's 2 water taxis to get us from whatever island we're at to the marina. Chaos. So on the way to the event, it's no problem. Everyone's leaving at different times. But what happens at the end of the night? Everybody's lit. They're trying to go home. Long ass lines. Okay. To make a really long story short, people were too drunk to like moderate themselves and moderate the lines, which has created a safety issue because people were literally jumping on the boat to get on the boat. At one point, we get on the boat and the boat is like tipping over, like it's gonna fall, and we have to like distribute the weight because like everyone's on one side, but everyone's drunk, so no one's like really paying attention. Mind you, it's like the end of Titanic. Everyone's like pushing and shoving to get on these little tiny boats. It's late at night. It's dark. It's our first day there. It's just too much for as much as we paid. And there's only 2 boats making like a 25-minute journey one way to drop people off and then come back. So they're like doing a loop-de-loop, and it's like 25 minutes each way. And I also want to say I wasn't personally on this boat, but also by the end of the night, the people that are driving our boat are like visibly wasted, like can't stand up, super drunk. After the first night, our whole crew of Toya 2, Toya 2, we decide that we are going to have to leave all the clubs early because we don't want to be involved in the water taxi fights. Which is a really minor, adjustment, but also like, again, we're paying almost 10 bands for our package. So what the hell? He follows that up by saying that, like, even though there's no Black people, Croatia is not racist. But we'll get back there in a little bit. Yeah. Okay, also, this is just like a very unrelated critique, but the DJs were so fucking talkative during all the events, and then they were kind of rude and talkative. So it's like, babe, shut up. For instance, at the white party that we had, one of the DJs was very rude and disparaging to a Black woman that was having a great time at the event, and I just was really disgusted. And the event is like 80% women, like 20% men. So the fact that this DJ is like talking shit about a Black woman with so many Black women around him is like blows my mind. And I won't like share the comment, but it really did break my heart that he called her out like that in front of everyone. So I'm going to add a little clip of her dancing because she was literally the life of the party. So why did he even say that?
Sorry, y'all. It's copyright infringed. I can't play the song.
Next night's party though. And so this is like now actually like gonna get into the story because whoo, that was a wild day. So all of the parties have themes. This day's theme is like an Afro-Caribbean theme. This is like day 4 of the event. So my liver is like taking a vacation and we're just like having a chill day with our crew. But we go to the party, the DJ's lit, or the DJ's trying to get everyone lit. Everyone is hella lit. And so it's like a very good time, even though we're like kind of on the back of things. It's so much fun. So the DJs are kind of doing too much at this party. And they're like at one point like, oh, everyone grab a cushion, like put the cushions in the air. Everyone grab like a chair, put a chair in the air. And we're like doing. Comes after the DJ like instructs everyone to throw water. happens when you get about 400 super drunk, mostly not familiar with each other women in a party, and now we're throwing water. What comes next?
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Ghetto.
They're fighting. So what does everyone do next? We fucking leave, okay? We're like, you know what? Y'all fighting, like she's throwing bottles. We gotta go. We gotta go. Okay, which means that everyone that purchased a table or drinks, most people, they basically just ran out on their bill that night because there was an opportunity to, because everyone was fighting. As my crew is leaving, there's like swarms of white people that are surrounded this party. And I'm like, y'all need to leave. You don't see them niggas fighting in there? What are you doing standing around? What the common sense? Which kind of brings me to the racism issue. I know that we're just talking about a fight, but just about the racism issue, everywhere we went, white people were recording us, following us, surrounding us like we were in a zoo. It was giving all you niggas are the main attraction and we are at the wild animal park. And, you know, that's not like overtly racist, but don't do that. Don't do that, please. If you see a group of Black people or like if you see a group of Black babies, don't take pictures with them like they're on display. Like it's such a fetishing of like Black bodies. And that is just what we experience. Okay, so the whole time we're there, we're using something called the Day 8 app to like internally communicate. So here are just like some things that people posted after the fight happened in Day 8.
I want to read these to you guys because I feel like they're going to be juicy. Someone says here, we were vibing and came together as Black folks, and some of y'all showed y'all butts. Do better. You are better than this ish. To the men, if you can't lay, if you can lay with us, protect us. Period. Somebody replied back says that was very ghetto. A guy replied back and says, yo, on some real ish. We pay too much to be over here fighting. The one time all the y'all Negroes get together and watching a recording instead of breaking this ish up. Y'all do better. They're right though. They're so right. And then somebody posted a meme, and then another person posted says, "Rip to my Air Maxes." Oh no, I want to read that. Oh no, hold on, y'all. I want to read that because that was good. Okay, he said, "Rip to my Air Maxes. We had a good run. Yeah, that's my blood trying to break ish up. Good though. Happy birthday to me." Wow, extra ghetto. Let's get to part 2. Oh, I guess his foot was bleeding. Oh, her shoes are cute.
And I would say like this fight is kind of the beginning of the end of good vibes on the trip. Like I said, the group me's crazy, and then they tried to do this like security deposit thing, which is like, what? Which, long story short, they basically said if anyone else fought on the trip, your whole boat would lose your security deposit. So if I fought with someone on the trip, anyone on my boat would not get a security deposit. Now, I'm no contracts lawyer, but that kind of sounds like a transmutation, and none of us really signed for that. So I don't really know how they'd enforce that. Neither here nor there, just like a miscommunication issue. So there's a party that night. Our whole crew doesn't even go to that party because the vibes are just very weird. It's really awkward and really tense now because everyone fought, and it's just weird vibes. And okay, this is out of order, but I really didn't plan it. But earlier that day, we were supposed to have like a tunnel raft party or like a circle raft party, which I guess is like a feature thing in Yacht Weeks.
I meant to say, give me a call, Mary, because I want to hear about your story. Okay, and if you go to our website, shoot us an email, and I'll give you my cell phone, and I want to talk to you about this story because I don't know nothing about this Jeremy guy. I can barely find him. I have no idea what his social media is.
And basically what that consists of is all boats circling up. They bring a DJ in the middle of the boat, and it's supposed to be one big party inside of that boat. So we were supposed to have that party earlier that day. And to make a really long story short, we basically paid to have a party that didn't occur because of bad weather. So half of the trip, they got to experience it, and the other half didn't because of bad weather. And I'm going to try to put a picture of what that party looks like. But ultimately, this begins a series of parties being canceled due to bad weather, and then nothing is done to accommodate us. This is the same thing with the regatta and with the tunnel raft party. We were supposed to have it due to bad weather. We did not have it, but we also weren't accommodated in any way to make up for the fact that it didn't happen. Essentially, during the week, there was a lot of things being promised to us that weren't ultimately delivered. Welcome bags, regatta party, tunnel party, circle raft party, and the communication on all of it is like trash. Okay, so everyone's disappointed about all the parties, but like quite frankly, we're all pushing on, having a good time. It's the last couple days of the trip, so things are winding down. We're getting ready to take our COVID tests. So the way COVID test works is that you could pre-book COVID tests for $40 through the same platform that we booked our package from, or you could just do it independently on your own. And when we got to the island, we were informed that there's two other COVID options, an $8 option and a $20 option. And the 21 was on site, just so you know. And the issue that a lot of us were having is, why would I pre-book a COVID test for $40 if I could have not pre-booked it and got it for $8 or $20 on the island? Like, seems like a scam. So I probably make the COVID test the biggest issues because, baby, 50% inflation on a COVID test. I have 8 sitting in my house right now. What the hell? How does that make sense? And if you saw in those previous like screenshots, they're basically just trying to pay us lip service about how people who paid $20 might not get their results, and then people who paid $40 get PCR tests. And basically, it's just all this lip service about why we were overcharged for our COVID test, and they refuse to answer the question of if they're going to refund us $20.
So these are the group chats that they were having.
And again, if you see in those screenshots, the runner or the host of the event, Air Jer 32, Jeremy Moore, is basically like, pull up. Let's talk about it. Here's my number. Come talk to me. Oh, you want me to pull up? I'm going to pull up. Let's go. What boat are you on? Car? Okay. I'm going to meet you there. So I call him. I'm like, hey, I'm about to come talk to you. He's like, can you come at 10:30? I'm like, no, baby. You said pull up. I'm on the way right now. Where are you at? And he's like fumbling, not want to tell me where he's at, but I go where he's at. And like, mind you, in the screenshots, I like exactly laid out my issue of why I was frustrated with the, like inflation on the COVID test. But I get in the boat and he's like, can you please articulate the issue? So I'm shocked. I'm like, articulate the issue. I feel like I laid out the issue really clearly on the Day 8 app. And he's like, well, articulate it for me. Okay. So I articulate the issue to him and he like fails to see the problem. And I'm like, listen, the whole benefit of pre-booking is typically you get something cheaper. I'm like, again, the benefit of pre-booking is that the cost is typically cheaper to pre-book than it is on site. And he's like, typically, not always. Okay. You know, when pre-booking or buying a ticket early is not cheaper, when someone has inflated the price of a ticket and towards the end, they want to get as much money back. So then they drop the price of that ticket. Think Beyonce concerts. You buy a ticket, super, super expensive. Closer to the concert, the tickets are like super cheap because people just basically want to get as much money as they can for them now. But he's going on about how people who paid on site aren't guaranteed the results, and people who paid in advance are taking PCR tests, and that's what the difference is. Okay. I'm just in there demanding a refund, and he's basically like, it's not happening. And I'm like, so you guys are scamming people at this event? And he's like, it's not me, it's the Yacht Week. They're the ones that are doing it. And I'm like, the Yacht Week is running this event. I thought this is Yacht'NIK. And he's like, no, it's them, and we're a partnership, and I'm not really in charge, and I'm just orders, and I'm just a worker. And I'm like, you're just a worker. I came here to talk to the leader of the event. Why am I even talking to you? You can't make decisions. You're not in charge. You're not running shit. Why am I here? And I storm out and leave. And then I post this in the Date app. Within
Now, let me say something about this because you make a really great point, Mary. Mary says, or maybe we wanted to travel to the Seychelles, or in her case, Croatia, with young Black professional travelers. As promised, unique, all-exclusive experience. Nobody was ever trying to flex. This, I know you're not talking to me, but it made me think like, you remember earlier when she was talking and she said it felt like one of those like timeshares where it's like, oh, if you get 3 people to come along, you get to go for free. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it feels like to Jeremy, right? Like he's the one who gets the free trip and they're the ones who pay. That's why when he shows all of his social media presence, he's like, oh, and I got the best yacht, and I got the best, hotel stay, and I got this experience, I got these wristbands to do this and this and this. Because yeah, you had 60 people pay to come along, so you got the top notch creme de la creme versus what everyone else got. Does that make sense? That makes like total sense to me. Like it seems like it's obviously not a scam, right? If Jeremy doesn't own the company or he's a partnership with it, but it does seem like he was getting the kickback. Because why is he there? That's the part that doesn't make sense. Most travel agents who set up those cruises or trips like this to the Seychelles or Croatia, they're usually not there. I think that's what people fail to realize. They're usually not there. The question is, why is Jeremy there? He's getting the kickback. He's the kickback, right? He gets the 60, 70, sometimes up to 100 Black professionals to go on these trips, anywhere between $7,000 and $8,000 each. And he gets the most luxurious stay that he could ever imagine. You know what I mean? So I think that's what it is, because it didn't make any sense. I'm like, what do you mean pull up? What is he doing there? Because that's what she said. She said he told her to pull up. In my head, I'm thinking, why is he there? Because he's not a travel agent, as he proclaims to be. He's an event organizer. That's what that sounds like. And he seems to be duping people with that. This from Apartment Wife says, I read the article about Yacht Week being for MBA students to network together in Croatia. Yacht'NIK doesn't sound like the vibe. I don't know what it is. I know it's like, I think it's like a 2022 version of like what our parents used to do with cruises in the 80s and 90s. Does that make sense? That's what Yacht Week sounds like. It sounds like that. It sounds like what our parents would do. Like, oh, me and your aunt and, your 6 aunts and your 5 uncles are going to go on a cruise and we got it all inclusive for $600 a week. That's what this sounds like to me. It sounds like you guys, tourism doesn't go out of style because our parents are older. Tourism is always going to be in style. People just travel, you know what I mean? But the packages get more and more, customizable and what have you. All right, let's get back to her story. She's almost done. At least I hope she is.
In 15 minutes of my post, Jeremy then posts this. Great. COVID tests are secured. We're just going to fast forward to the last night, and we go out to the hottest club in Croatia, which is Central. When we go out, we're supposed to be partying in exclusive venues, meaning the venue is supposed to be only Yachtnik people. However, this night, this is not the case, and I'm not sure why. So we're informed that the party starts at 11 and our DJ is going to be DJing until 1 a.m. And then at that point, regular patrons can come in the bar and dance with us. Okay, it's nearly midnight. We're waiting outside the club. There's a lot of white patrons that are also waiting outside the club. And it's just kind of an awkward situation, to be honest. You can tell a lot of people are really trying to get into this club. Everyone from Yachtnik is obviously really trying to get in this club. And there's a huge delay. Like the club should have opened an hour ago and we're still waiting outside. So slowly but surely, they get all of the Yachtnik people inside the party. And I'm going to say like not even 30 minutes later, they let just normal like white people into the club. And I'm going to say that there's two types of Croatians that we experience. The first type that's like, oh, yeah, they're Black people. It's hip hop music. Like, hell yeah, like it's a party. And then the other type is like giving alt-right. Like there's a lot of Black people here. Like, what are they doing here? Like, this is our party. They need to leave. So we're dancing, we're vibing. All of a sudden, the music just stops. And like you see the DJ's face and he's like super upset. And we're like all kind of trying to figure out what's going on. And he's like kind of like arguing. And then people start leaving. And, you know, if you're Black, if you know, you know. Once people start leaving, baby, it's time to go. So we leave the club. And so there's like hella people outside. Like everyone who was just inside the club is outside the club. And everyone's like, yeah, it's an alleged bomb threat. It's an alleged bomb threat, which makes sense because there's police dogs. So there's like Croatian police dogs, people gathering outside. It's a frenzy. For us, we're like, you know what, that's a wrap for us. Like bomb threat or no bomb threat, like we're going to go home. But we are now stuck like in wherever we were until our buses come at like 1:30. It was like super early still. So we're like, let's just like explore the city a little bit. We stop and get like the most delicious chicken plate with subpar French fries, whatever. But then we get a notification on the Day 8 app. Jeremy.
I want to read what he said. Jeremy says, hey guys, it's just been a threat real quick. They just have to walk through the club. No need to leave. Someone said, bomb, no need to leave. That sounds sensible.
So Jeremy, like the host of this event, in a time of crisis, we're all evacuated out of the club by like Croatian police and dogs. He's gonna hit us with, it's a bomb threat real quick. Like, dude, it's a bomb threat real quick. We live in like a hugely gun society, like post 9/11 world. What does that even mean? What? So Jeremy is like trying to convince us to go back into this club because it's just like racist, calling in a bomb threat, and there's not a real bomb. It's just the racist calling in the threat.
Somebody said, bro, I don't blame them. I wouldn't go back in there. Are you insane? Are you insane? Because here's my thing. I think the only reason why he wanted them to go back into the club is because if he is in conjunction with the nightclubs and the yachts that he's renting for you guys who went on this trip, I think he's also in conjunction with these nightclubs as well. So they can't just have 100 people leave the club. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't look good for the club. It doesn't look good when they're doing photos and video clips. It makes the club look empty and dense. So I think Jeremy's whole role was to bring the people there in order for him to be able to get the deal he got for his boat and his hotel or whatever their cabana. I don't know where they're staying at in Croatia for his boat and all of his stuff. So I think that's why he told them to come back or to just stay.
As you can see in the previous screenshot, he is like all over the place with communication. Like, we're going to leave. We're going to go inside. We're going to make a collective decision. We're going to go back in and party. It's not really that deep. Like all. But for me and my crew, like that's a wrap. I think, you know, whether or not there was an actual bomb, the fact that people wanted to get us out the club that badly is like a major red flag. Not only that, it's really clear that Jeremy doesn't have a handle on what's going on. He is not in charge. There's no protection. We're not safe. So it just feels like it's time to go home. So the bomb thread is actually how we end the event. Some people do go back in and party, mostly people who are with Jeremy and his crew or had tables, but a lot of people do decide to go home, and that's how it yeah, so that's how the trip ends. Obviously, there's a lot of mixed reviews. Some people are like, I had the time of my life. Some people are like really frustrated with what's going on, but we're all still communicating in the day 8 hours. So I'm hoping these are the last couple parts because we're literally at the end of the story, but I have a couple things that I want to mention before. And one is I see Jeremy one more time at the airport, which is fun. Mind you, Jeremy and I have had spicy conversations ever since the COVID test. Every time we run into each other, it's a little friction, but I'm at the airport. I'm trying to go home. Like, I'm defeated. At this point, I'm flying home alone. I've been in the airport since 5 a.m. It's Murphy's Law. Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong. I just want 2 waters. I'm very thirsty. And I'm like, hey, what's up, Jeremy? And he kind of like head nods and gestures at me. And then like kind of is like, what you trying to do? Like, what you trying to do? And I'm alone. So I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? And then his whole demeanor kind of changes. And he's like, oh, I'm just joking. And I was like, okay, like, I'm just trying to get water. Like, honestly, I'm not really trying to fight with you. And I leave. That is literally how I wrap up my trip in Croatia, with the leader of the event pretending like he's going to fight me while I'm alone in the airport, which was so inappropriate. Okay, so I'm obviously trying to get my money back because what? I'm going to pay for a black man to threaten me at an event? Jeremy, eat a dick. Eat a dick. And that's where the Twitter battles begin, which most likely, if you've watched this whole thing, you are here because you've seen me post really crazy tweets going back and forth with people on my Twitter.
Hold on, I want to read some of this Twitter thread. She started off by saying, what I look like arguing with who paid to go to Yacht'NIK plus didn't spend a dime. Ooh wee. Somebody replied back and said, that's what I'm saying. You know though, baby girl, all yo is scammers. We paid for you. Somebody said, I appreciate it. And then this person by the name of Foot on Your Neck says, you're very welcome. Please direct messages to me. Yikes. Another one says, teach more your ways so I can be on for the next go around. Why argue when you can spread the wealth? And then somebody tweeted and says, what I look like arguing with you when I pay for, when who paid for to go to Yacht'NIK plus didn't spend a dime. Wow. These people are terrible. And then that was the end. And there's a third part. God, it's not as long. But let's see if she has any video in here. And I think it's just her. Oh, okay. So this is going to be the most important part because this is her going back and forth with them. And it looks like she ultimately got blocked. So I'm going to just start it from the beginning and I'm going to read some of them to you guys. Okay. Let me get to some of the comments here first, real quick. I had to make some tea. Okay. So this is from... I gotta scroll to the top. I missed a whole lot. Okay, hold on. Tiny says, kind of spicy though. What's spicy? Oh wow, spicy ratchet. I don't think the people who attended these events, you guys, are not ratchet, except the people who got into that fight. No way. But the whole event sounds like it was poorly put together by a group of alleged scammers and people not giving the people who are paying the whole truth. I don't think Jeremy is a travel agent. I think he is an event planner or it sounds like he's an event promoter. That's what it sounds like. He doesn't sound like a travel agent because travel agents don't travel with the group. You know what I mean? Unless you're going to the Congo and you're doing a silverback gorilla tour. You know what I mean? That's really the only time where your guide goes with you, but there should have been no reason why Jeremy was at any of these events. And then he turned around and started a company for no apparent reason. He's still like, sir, you're spending your entire days just gathering rich black people together, or moderately wealthy black people together, so you can go and hang out on boats for free. You don't need to start a business. But he was trying to break bread. You know what I mean? He was trying to get his little piece too. Instead of just organizing the events and spending your days traveling, he had to have more than that. That's what happens when the plan meets greed. That's how they intersect. They begin to intersect. This from Mary. Mary says, so basically disputing as service not rendered. Yeah, Mary, I know you probably paid a pretty penny. If you guys don't know, Mary is in the comment section. She actually attended the Croatia trip. I don't know which week you attended, Mary, but Mary, if you didn't get what was in your package, you definitely should dispute it. But let's get into some of these tweets, okay? This is from the Black Miranda. She says, somebody replied to the Black Miranda, says, sheesh, if you want to hit me, oh, this is from Jeremy to her. Oh, this is his Twitter account. Snap. Okay, I'm gonna follow him on Twitter. Jeremy says, sheesh, if you want to hit me up, then hit me up. LOL, I'm open for a conversation. Miranda says, I will definitely be following up. Email is currently in the works. Ain't you supposed to be sending me an email explaining to me why we didn't receive everything we paid for? He said, we actually did. LOL. Miranda says, about the COVID test, what about the post threat email where you shared these details and how you plan to protect your black guests in the future, or an apology for having a welcome gift, not having a welcome gift, or any merch available at all to your guests? Miranda continues and says, well, he said he was open for conversation. And then she also replied back to him and said, want to know what really rubbed me the wrong way? Our encounter in the airport where you insinuated that you wanted to fight. What you trying to do? And then gesturing your body like you wanted to get into a fight. Now you can block me, but I took screenshots. And then he proceeded to send her a DM and he says, so I mentioned you can continue to voice your opinion, as I stated, is your right. At this moment, though, which I know you will screenshot, I will be blocking you from our social media because it's starting to become a bit much how you are operating. I hope you will receive this email that literally dispels every element of anything you're saying, but in all honesty, truly no animosity. We do wish you the best with all your endeavors, and thank you. And then he blocked her. Wow, what a coward. Then he blocked her from his account. Wow.
I'm really trying to wrap this up because I'm really trying to go to the gym with Olympia. I love you, girl. But anyway, so I'm trying to get Jeremy to give me a refund because is that luxury? Do you think that's luxury experience? Now, I want you to think about everything you just heard and ask yourself, did that shit sound luxury? That sound ghetto as fuck to me. But whatever. So I'm trying to get a refund. Jeremy's making it really hard for me. He's blocking me on pages. He's sending his friends to come fight me. He's refusing to give me his money back. He's being inappropriate. He then posts his Versace glasses that he...
Girl, you just got home. Mary, you just got home. Dang. That's did you do a story time on TikTok that we can watch? Dang, girl, you just got home. Ooh, child. So talk about perfect timing, huh? Yes, I did. She said, traumatized. Yes, honey, I bet you're traumatized. Yes, you did. Wow. I would totally love to hear your account of the story whenever you're ready to share. You said drop the link. Okay, I'll drop a link here. Please join us on this. If you like, please join us on this live stream. I'm going to drop the link in the comments. Just click the link and join us here. Let us hear your story, girl. You just got home, child. So we already know it's about to be a hot ghetto mess, and we here for it because if you're new to this page, we're not a big fan of scammers. Okay, we're not a big fan of scammers. We're not a fan of scammers alleged or scammers adjacent, right? We don't like any of them. If anytime there's a sprinkling of black dollars and black people don't get what they're supposed to get, immediately we call them out. We also did a really big story. I don't know if because you're new here. We also did a story on that guy Glow Jays. We do stories on scammers all the time, honey. This is nothing new. But yeah, please join the link. Let us hear from. She said, drop the link. Link dropped. Okay, link dropped. It'll bring you right up here, and we'll hear you. Okay, good. Okay, let us know once you put the story time together. Tag us in it. This is our name on TikTok, Nosy Bystanders. Tag us in it so we can air your story here. Okay, what's your TikTok name? I know, Mary. Drop the TikTok, Mary. We're gonna get back into the story, so we'll see you in the comments. Okay.
He bought. He was like so frustrated with me, like attacking him online all day. He needed retail therapy because my 15 minutes of fame are over. Are they done yet? Or are we still going? So anyway, his little feelings are hurt because I hurt his feelings, and he blocks me off the Date 8 app. He has his assistant call me. No one's running me my money. Okay. In one of the previous screenshots, Big Ray is bragging how she got the trip for free. Multiple influencers were saying how they were flown out and their boat was free. We paid for their shit. Okay. And it's just giving you hella scammed your guest. Like so much of this trip was inflated that I'm like, of course, they all got free trip. And when I say all, I mean like Jeremy and his crew, the DJs, and just like some close friends of him were able to get flown out and get a free boat on vacation. And like, mind you, there was like a miscommunication between this one crew about what boat that they booked. They felt that they had booked a more luxury boat and they actually only received a basic boat. And the girls had screenshots like proving that they had booked this more luxury boat. And Jeremy's only solution was to have people either pay $1,000 or have two people sleep on the kitchen table. What? And it's like, why would they need to pay an extra $1,000 if you, your whole crew, all these influencers like came for free? From my understanding, there were still 2 boats left over like before the trip even started. But it was like a money grab. So of course, he just wants to get all the money he can. He doesn't want to refund any money because then he loses money. So it was like a total pyramid scheme. What the fuck? And honestly, there's so many other things that happened, like harassment, fighting, someone broke their leg, like all this other background drama, but I couldn't even go into it because the video is already so long. And like I said, I want to go to the gym. Jeremy and I guess the Yacht Week are really unprofessional. They're not really being responsible.
So I wanted to finish out Hey It's Miranda's story, and hopefully she did travel 15 weeks ago, so hopefully she was able to get her money back or at least recoup some of her losses. But y'all, I done found Mary. Let's get into Mary's story time, honey. It's about to be a long live stream because I am just about sick of this Jeremy character. So let me share my screen and we're gonna get into Mary's story because they're all starting to sound alike. And thank you again, Mary. I know you're probably going to bed right now. Thank you again for letting us share your story. Okay. Let's begin, honey. Because Mary Mary looks pissed. Okay. Mary looks pissed. Okay, here we go. Hold on 1 second. Okay, let's go. All right, now I got it up. Let me, I'm just trying to position my screen over. Okay.
Y'all remember when the Fire Fest Festival documentary first came out and we all sat there and watched them and just like, damn, can't believe they got scammed like that, but could it be me? Babes, it happened to me. Yep, I was fire fested. My name is Ayana, and this is a story of how Yacht'NIK, aka Scamnik, aka Jeremy Moore, stole $2,600 from me, misappropriated my funds, and caused me to have to even spend more money just to enjoy my trip. So yes, I am a survivor of Yacht'NIK Seychelles 2022, week 2. And when I say survive, I don't mean the kind of survive where like my liver survived because I was partying for 7 days on a yacht like I thought it would be. Because how can I be shaking it on a yacht in a thong in Seychelles if I'm being scammed and I'm being played with right in my face? In my face. So what is Yachtnik? Let's get straight into it. So this is directly from the website, and you can pause to read, but I'm going to summarize. So Yachtnik was basically supposed to be the Black Yacht Week. You sail to different islands within a country with other young Black travelers, engage in cultural experiences, sightsee, tour different things, and most of all, you party. So like Yacht Week is like mostly for the palm colored people, and it's like EDM music and whatnot. But Yachtnik was supposed to be for us, by us. And like I said, and y'all read directly from the website, Yachtnik was supposed to be all inclusive, right? So this is what was supposed to be included directly from the Yachtnik Instagram. This has since been deleted because Jeremy likes to delete things, but this is what was supposed to be included. And now let me show you what I actually got. If there's an X on it, that means I didn't get it. Yeah.
Now she said if there's an X on it, she didn't get it. Let's see what she did not get if the screen is too small for you. So she did not get a luxury yacht. She did not get a hostess. I guess a hostess. I'm not entirely sure what that means. She did not get a welcome dinner. She did not get to headline D3, which I'm not sure what that is either. She didn't get a yacht Nick gift bag. She also did not get a food package with a hostess, 6 breakfasts, 6 lunches, and 2 dinners. She did not get that. Brunch event didn't get that either. There's 2 things that is on top of, but I can't see. A professional skipper she did not get. All access pass to exclusive Yachtnik events. Nope. Final Yachtnik cleaning. She did not get the cleaning. Water taxis, transfers to and from the airport, and professional videographer. She didn't get none of that. Wow, Mary. Okay, let's continue.
Damn near half the list, ain't it? Let's talk about it. First, I want to bring up the skipper. So if you look at the top of this column right here, you'll see that we're supposed to get a professional skipper. Now the skipper, this is the captain. This is the person who does any and everything. There's no water without the skipper. There's no AC without the skipper. The boat don't move without the skipper. And while the name of my yacht was Real Hot Girl Ship, baby, I am not actually qualified to drive the boat. So in this first screenshot, Jeremy is basically telling week 1 that they would not have a skipper for the first 2 days, which is crazy. But also he goes that skipper gratuity. So basically now the cost of a skipper is no longer included in what we paid. And we have to pay gratuities up front. Come to find out, these weren't actually gratuities, but the actual base pay of the skipper. How did we find out? We talked to the skippers. So we paid a total of, I think, $1,080, and I'll insert the screenshot, for what we were told was skipper gratuities, but was actually the skipper's base pay. Here's the proof that we sent Jeremy $1,080 for the skipper. Keep in mind, this was supposed to be included in the $2,600 I've already paid. Let's now get into the host. So as you can see, we were supposed to get a host and a food package, and neither of these were included. I'm running out of time, so come back for part 2.
Don't worry, Mary. We coming back for part 2, honey, because the storytelling is top tier, baby. Okay, let's get to part 2. Child, he should be ashamed of himself.
Welcome back to part 2 of Surviving Yachtnik, aka Scamnik, aka Black Firefest, aka Surviving the Jeremy Moore Experience. Welcome back. So in part 1, I left off talking about how we didn't have a host or a food package, so let's jump right back into that. So like I said in the last video, if you look at the first column, second row, you'll see we're supposed to get a hostess. And if you look at the second column, second row, you'll see that it also came with a food package. And the host is basically a chef who's supposed to cook us 5 breakfasts, 5 lunches, 2 dinners.
Don't worry, Mary. We're going to watch all parts, honey. We here all night. All right.
Now, in this screenshot that I showed y'all where Jeremy basically told us that we had to pay additional for the skippers, this is also when he told us that we weren't going to have a hostess. And so Jeremy's story, which we'll get into that in another TikTok video, was basically that the yacht company canceled our reservations and charged him double/triple to rebook, and he could not afford to include the hostesses anymore, which I don't know how that's my problem because I paid my money on time and I was told I was going to have a host. He downplays not having a host, talking about like they don't clean like other markets. Like, okay, but they were supposed to cook several meals. And then he goes, we will be on land docked most of the times for any breakfast needs. Yeah, we were not on land docked. We spent most of the time floating in the middle of the ocean. Like yeah. And the only way to get to land was for your skipper to put you in a dinghy. So if he's telling us that we don't got no skipper, we don't need a skipper, and we don't got no host. How we get into land and get food?
That's really interesting because I'm thinking about maritime laws. This story is so interesting to me because I feel like it's requiring me to put my political science hat on, right? So the it's like they were strategically moving in a certain fashion as to not break certain international laws, right? So if you guys don't know, we have what's called an international waters. So, and it's not far. Most people think it's like, oh, you got to go all the way out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. No, you don't. You just go a little bit further out into the ocean. You pass this specific, I don't know, it's not the international date line, but it's international like line. And once you do, there are no laws because the UN has realized that there's no way for any nation to just govern an entire body of ocean. So you can only govern how close you are to the land that you own, right, as a nation. So the further you go out, the less regulated it is. It's literally the less regulated. I mean, like we're talking from murder to gambling to liquor to hookers to you name it is legal in international waters because it's just too much for anybody to be able to maintain. So I think it's so unusual that she brings up that portion like, oh, we were in the water all the time. But why? Why would you be in the water? Why would you be that far out into the water? And why would you need a dinghy to come back? Interesting, very interesting. Pay very close attention to because Mary is really putting the story together, but pay close attention to what she's saying because it sounds like they were trying to curtail specific international law.
So essentially, without a host, you don't eat. So here is us getting a quote from Jeremy for a host slash chef. We paid $650 plus we tipped him. And this did not include the cost of groceries like it was supposed to in what's included. So we also have to get groceries, and I'm gonna show you the receipts. So here is one of the receipts from one of the first grocery store runs that we made. Here's the second receipt, and altogether, how much did we spend? Give me a second. Let me go calculate in U.S. dollars. Baby, altogether, we spent about $539 on groceries. That was supposed to be included. Now, I will say our host, slash chef, he was great. He was great, y'all. He made this curd chicken. Let me see if I got a video of the curd chicken. It was so good. Like, y'all, this chicken was bomb. It was bomb. And I'm really glad we didn't take Jeremy's advice about the host not being that big of a deal. Because first of all, nobody believes him at this point. But like, we would have not been able to eat. Like when I tell y'all that we were not on land for majority of the trip, we was in the middle of the ocean. Not only that, but like our chef, he was lighting the stove with a match. Baby, I ain't never smoked a match in my life. Even if I was willing to cook on vacation, because I'm not. I ain't never light a stove like that in my life. Gas stove, electric stove, me. What is this match business? Not even like a fire clicker, like the lighter that you click, but a match? Mm-mm. We'd have been for dead. Mm-mm. You saw the list. There's lots more that we didn't get, so come back for part 3.
Hello. So let me get to some of the comments and then we're going to get to part 3. So, no, Mary, you're absolutely correct. You being in the middle of the water is very specific and it's strategic. In my head, that's what I'm thinking because it doesn't make sense. Like most things that make sense, right? Most things that make sense. So, yes, if you were in the middle of the water, then they put you in the middle of the water for a particular reason. And in my head, I'm thinking of like maritime law, something about that. And I would like to know how far out into the water you were, because that's really interesting to me as well. Like how far out in the middle of the water were you that you can remember? She's like, girl, I'm not a captain of a boat. I have no idea how many nautical miles I was away from land, but I'd be very curious as to know how much. She said, girl, any foreign jail. That's right. This is from Mary. She says, he claims he didn't have authorization for us to be docked. Were you on a yacht or were you on a catamaran? See, Mary, that's why you should have just jumped in. You know you're not asleep. Okay. You said not that far. You can see the shore. Okay, so back in my heyday when I used to be a server, I used to work at a marina and I was a server for like 3 docks, and all the boats were on the dock. And there were tons of boats who would come by and they would stop by because they had friends who were docked, but they didn't pay docking fees. So maybe he didn't pay docking fees. That's why. That could be it too. You're on a catamaran. Yeah, so that's why, right? You have to pay those docking fees in order to be able to dock your boat. The whole thing sounds ghetto. Okay, let's get into part 3.
Hello, welcome back to Surviving Yachtnik, aka Scamnik, aka the Black Fire Fest, aka the Jeremy Moore Experience, aka this man needs to run me my money. So what else didn't we get? Well, you see on the list there is a welcome dinner. Didn't get that. Jeremy tried to make us pay for that as well, and we just didn't go because we didn't have no more money for this man. Let me see if I could go find the screenshot. So up top, you'll see him tell us that we had to pay 120 euros for a welcome dinner. Nobody went because, like, why are we giving you more money? Also, I just want to say, I hate buffets. Please put an end to buffets, especially when it's not a buffet where I can get like Chinese food and pizza in the same meal. It'd be like just like open tray of food for everybody to touch and cough on. I hate buffets. A very important fact that I don't think I've mentioned in these last 2 videos is that he told us all these changes, these screenshots I'm showing you, all these changes that he made with these different and increased costs. He told us this like while week 1 was en route to Seychelles. And for me, week 2, this was the Friday before the Wednesday that I left. So like very short notice. But let's get back into it. So like I said, there was no welcome dinner. There was no brunch event. Headline DJs. If you look at the Yachtnik page, like when they were in Croatia with the Yacht Week, they had like DJ Youngchild and all that. We had local DJs. There was no headline DJs. He did not fly anybody in. Lies. A Yachtnik gift bag. We had a luggage tag and a mug. Whatever. Wi-Fi. There was no Wi-Fi on the boat. And we have screenshots of when his assistant was told that we won't have Wi-Fi because, once again, he just refused to pay for it. Okay, I actually do not feel like inserting screenshots, but they're available upon request, and I have a Google Drive with all this evidence against him, so let's keep it going. Professional photography, professional videography. There was no professional photographers or videographers there for us. There was like 1 or 2 days when people were shooting B-roll for Jeremy and Yachtnik and his brand, but nobody took a picture of me. Nobody gave me no printouts. Listen, none of that. None of that. I don't got no pictures with my friends. I don't got no videos of me twerking on a yacht. None of that. All access pass to exclusive Yachtnik events. None of the events were exclusive. We were at different tourist spots with other tourists and locals. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the locals. They were fun. But like, there were no exclusive Yachtnik events. Wow, this is a lot. I still have to get to the transfers to and from the airport and the final yacht cleaning / the DK luxury yacht. Come back for, what part is this? 4? Come back for part 4. Welcome back. Let's hop right back into it. So transfers to and from the airport. So we did get picked up from the airport, to which we were dropped off at a restaurant and sat there for 6 hours, including through heavy rain at some point, waiting for our yachts to come to the dock so we can check in. On the original itinerary, yacht check-in was supposed to be like 3 to 6. We did not get to our yachts until like 9:30, 10. Some people 11. And here's a video of all our luggage just sitting at the restaurant. They were actually very upset about this. And honestly, I was upset with the restaurant thing too, because in the midst of all our luggage just sitting out like that, somebody stole my bottle of Patron. I would have bought a Patron Reposado and somebody stole it. And I don't think it was anybody on the trip because like there were other tourists there at this restaurant too. Like they just probably saw the duty-free bag and said, hey, let me snatchies. Like, but what's crazy is that more important things could have got stolen. Thank God it was just my bottle of Patron. But back to business. So I had an early morning flight Saturday morning out of Seychelles. Because of all these changes that Jeremy sprung on us last minute, one of the changes, and I will insert the screenshot, was that we were no longer boarding and disembarking in Mahi. So originally, Jeremy told us that we could get any flight in and out of Mahi because we would be there the night before. So I bought an 8 a.m. flight. It was either 8 a.m. or 11 p.m. Me, not just me, but also other members of my group. Now, with these changes, because Jeremy did not do his due diligence in doing research and planning this trip, we can no longer disembark in Mahi and we have to disembark from Prosslin. So, Prosslin is a 75-minute ferry ride from Mahi. And as you can see in the screenshot, he's also telling us that we have to pay for the ferry. So, you're a fuck up, but I gotta pay. Now, the ferry only ran, I believe, at 8 a.m., 12 p.m., 2 p.m., and 4:30, something like that. Very limited schedule, and it sold out quickly. My flight was at 8 a.m., 75 minutes away. So you know what that means? That means that I had to get my own hotel accommodations for Friday night. So I had to take the ferry, pay for the ferry ticket, get my own hotel accommodations for Friday night, pay for my own taxi to the airport from my hotel Saturday morning because he had no way to make sure I can get to my flight. Jeremy claims he booked this villa for attendees who had early morning Saturday flights. He never even so much as dropped the address. He literally just dropped pictures of it. And also, I don't trust you at this point. And how big is this villa? Like, I just, no. And for the record, that hotel cost me 625 euros, divided by 3 because I split it with 2 of my friends. And not to mention the cost of the ferry, $60, the cost of a cab from the ferry to the hotel, $40, and the cost of a cab from the hotel to the airport, another $40. More money out of my pocket for something that was supposed to be included. Run me my money, Jeremy. Run me my money. On top of all this, Jeremy had the nerve to lead the trip on Friday afternoon, even though itinerary said that the trip ended on Saturday morning. So he left other patrons stranded with no airport transfers. Next video, I'm going to talk about this DK luxury yacht. Come back for more. Welcome back. Let's hop right back into it. So transfers to... Okay, y'all. I ended that last video kind of quick because I was running out of time, but I just want to re-emphasize something. Before I jump into this luxury yacht business, I just want to emphasize something. The trip was supposed to end Saturday at 9 a.m. First of all, this itinerary that you see, none of this actually happened in the order that it says. That's neither here nor there. The trip was supposed to end Saturday at 9 a.m. Jeremy left Friday afternoon. How do you plan a trip for a group of people and leave a day early? That makes no sense. And the only reason why we knew that he left a day early is because my skipper, who had not gotten paid by Friday, so I paid gratuities up front, which was actually the skipper's salary, but you didn't even pay him. My skipper was worried that Jeremy was that he was leaving Friday and that he wasn't going to get paid because Jeremy was leaving. It's the only way I found out. Crazy. But let's get to this luxury yacht business. A luxury yacht, you say? Let's go look at these pictures. The bathroom drain in the sink. What is this? Is that mode? I can't keep looking at this. Next picture. The shower head, bro. The shower head. Look at the shower head. Is this luxury? I got a close up. Hold on. Whoops. 1 second. 1 second. Look at that. That is so freaking gross. I had to shower in the shower for 7 days. 6 days, actually, because I had to leave early. Luxury? Part of the group that I came with, their bed sheets, stained. This is just one of like 4. Stained. Remember that graphic, how it said, hold on, let's go back to it. Towels and bed linens. I guess that doesn't necessarily mean clean ones. More stains on the bed sheets. Now this is the icing on the cake, y'all. That's a roach. That's a roach on the yacht near the bed. Let me get the video. You see this? This is what the front of other people's yachts look like. They had a nice little seating area, some tables. Cute, right? Cute. This is what the front of our yacht looked like. All we had to sit on was that little net. And honestly, I was scared to sit on it because, like, that's a big enough hole for my phone to fall through. And I was not trying to lose my phone in the Indian Ocean. But, like, come on. And I have videos of Jeremy looking me in my face and trying to tell me that the definition of a luxury yacht, catamaran, whatever. The definition is just like a boat with AC. That's his definition of luxury. Stop playing in my face. I think we can all agree that those were not luxury accommodations. In the next installation of this series, I will talk about how Jeremy stole my boat. He stole real hot girl shit. That boat I showed you a picture of earlier, that was the front of the boat that we were supposed to be on. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it.
Okay, so I have to find part 6. Oh, I think this might be it. Actually, yeah. Let's go here, and then we'll get to part 6. I got to figure out how he stole her boat.
Hey y'all, I'm back with the tea on Yachtnik, aka Scamnik, aka Jeremy Moore needs to run me my money. But before I get into the fact of how Jeremy stole my money and misappropriated my funds, I just want to give a quick disclaimer. This girl came in my comments, not the one whose comment I'm responding to, but somebody else, like, you're stealing TikToks, you're stealing screenshots, rah, 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 rah. Babes. Over 100 plus people went to Seychelles in total, with anywhere from 8 to 12 people on any given boat. We were all in the same group me's, all in the same WhatsApp group. So yes, a lot of our text group me's of German speaking are going to look the same. Like, there's literally a Google Drive with all the evidence so that people have them for their bank disputes and anything else they need to prove that Germany wronged them. We're sharing evidence. Why would this surprise people? And as far as Trini Darling, hey good sis, we went on this trip together. Our screenshots look the same because we was on the same yacht, we was in the same group, we made payments together, we collated our money and made payments together. So that's why we have the same screenshots. This is the last time I'm addressing it. Let's talk about how Jeremy stole my money. So this is where it gets good, because telling us that it's all-inclusive and it's not is one thing. Actually committing fraud and misappropriating funds is an actual crime. So here, Jeremy is basically explaining that some trip goers had canceled their yachts, probably because Jeremy is a terrible communicator and they were nervous about this trip. Anyways, people canceled their yachts. There was a balance. And because the balance wasn't paid, the yacht company canceled our reservations. Upon canceling our reservations, the yacht company then charged Jeremy, allegedly, double or triple the book. Now, let me tell you what I think happened. I think there was a balance. Jeremy didn't pay it. The yacht company canceled the reservation. And what happens when you book a hotel a month before versus the night before? The price is going to be up, right? They're going to charge a higher price. That's what happened. So this is why we didn't have hosts or skippers. Jeremy claims that the yacht company charged him double and triple the price, and he simply could not afford to do this. Now, here's the real issue with this. Jeremy literally admits that he incurred cancellation fees, used our money to pay them, and then took out a loan to rebook the reservation. At no point did Jeremy come to us and tell us that this is what he was deciding to do. So Jeremy above is basically like, y'all finna let them win because they're not gonna give you hostesses. Babes, we gotta eat. Like, he's really trying to downplay it. He's like, you're not gonna go on this amazing trip just because you're not gonna have a host. Someone calls him out though, and they say, we asked for communication since November. We're professionals. This is not professional. You made a decision without consulting us. Like, you made a financial decision with our money without consulting us. And let's see what Jeremy responds. If you can't tell, I'm blocking out the person's picture and name for their privacy. But basically, they tell Jeremy that he made this decision without consulting us. Jeremy goes, a decision last week and we weren't getting refunds anyway. So you admit to making this decision. The person tells him, well, that's fraud. Jeremy says, okay. He says something else, but delete the message. Did you just admit to fraud, babes? Because this is going to the bank. This is what Chase got, okay? Come back for the next part because it gets even better. Hey, y'all. Can't believe I'm at 7 videos and I haven't even talked about him stealing my boat. But here we are. I want to prioritize him misusing my funds. So let's be clear. A lot of people, including myself, went on this trip because, like others who have been commenting, like, I wanted to go too. And like, oh my God, like, thank you for sharing this. A lot of us saw what Jeremy did in Croatia. And the problem is that we are now realizing that the reason why Croatia was so successful, and successful is a very relative term because if you talk to people from Croatia, he was on BS there too. But the reason why Croatia looked the way it did, like it looked fun, it looked like a good trip to go on, is because Jeremy was relying on the planning of the Yacht Week. So like I said in my first video, the Yacht Week is for the, and they've been doing this for years. They have a whole team. They're organized. They're organized. But Seychelles was such a debacle because this was Jeremy trying to do this all on his own. So keep in mind, we paid money to Jeremy. We've been paying money to Jeremy since September 2021. I'm going to insert a screenshot of the payment plan. As you can see, first payment September 16th, 2021. Last payment August 2nd, 2022. And in this screenshot, Jeremy is basically telling us that this issue with the cancellation of boats began around July 27th. But as you can see from this date, Jeremy did not inform us of any of this until September 9th, at night. So all this time went by from July 27th, allegedly. He did not inform us of any cancellations of our reservations for whatever reason. He did not inform us that he was using our funds to pay cancellation fees that other travelers incurred. He did not come and say, hey guys, this is the unfortunate situation that's happening. How do y'all want to move forward since it's our money, right? He made decisions with our money, without our permission, without our consent. And when someone said, hey, that's fraud, The man said, okay. It gets better though, because I don't know if you guys seen Shamika's Medium article, but thanks to our good sis, she had called the yacht company, I believe it was September 4th, to confirm if we had yachts chartered, and they told her no. And if you're confused, I'm confused, bro, because Jeremy has yet to provide a timeline on what happened to our funds and where the money yet went. Jeremy did release this email. I'm assuming this is between him and the yacht company, and I want to emphasize that he released it and then deleted it because it's kind of incriminating. Basically, this is the yacht company confirming that our bookings were canceled because they were not paid. And at the very last moment, new bookings were put in place. Now, what did I say? When you book a hotel a month versus the day before, it's going to cost more, right? When it's the day before. This person also confirms that our booking had been canceled since August 16th. So I'm kind of confused about the timeline, but I guess that's around 2 weeks after July 27th. I don't know. Come back for more. We're going to investigate this. Can't believe in my 7 videos. Y'all see this comment right here? Jeremy stole my boat, and I've been dying to talk about it, so I'm going to jump right in because I need this to fit in one TikTok. So remember I told y'all that Jeremy had us waiting at a restaurant for 6 hours before we actually got to get on our boats? So at 9:24 p.m., I know this is 1:24, but she shows 8 hours ahead, and this was screenshotted in my local time. At 9:24 p.m., I say, Jeremy, the boat here is not the boat on our confirmation. It's actually yours. What confirmation am I speaking of? Let's go. On September 5th, Jeremy sent out an email with booking confirmations and a crew list. There was a crew list for week 1 and a crew list for week 2, and I've obviously crossed out people's names for their privacy. This is week 1's crew list. Please note the boat that Jeremy's on. This is week 2's crew list. Please note that Jeremy's supposed to be on the same exact boat. So Jeremy's response was that he switched our boats due to the lead booker being on his yacht, which was a lie, and that the boats are of the same category, which y'all saw the boat. If you haven't, go to part 5. Look at the boat. Now, y'all might have seen these screenshots from Chris's videos, but this was me. He blocked out my name, but this was me. I told Jeremy, like, you're dead ass bugging. Ain't no way you switched the boats and did not tell us. How do you tell us while we're looking for the boat at night at the marina that you switched the boats? Was it not something to inform us of ahead of time? No? And then look down here. Someone goes, I told someone last night he was trying to get on that boat. He should have switched the boat assignment before people arrived. Yeah. We follow up with this message, let him know that 1, we're squished on this boat. It's unethical for him to switch it and not tell us. He was on this boat last week. This boat has so many problems, and I'm confused as to why it's even in the fleet. But let alone, Jeremy was on this boat last week. So why are you switching boats without telling people? For the record, Jeremy never responds to that last message. We pressed him in person about it with the yacht company and the lead skipper there, and that's how we find out he's lying. Now, Jeremy's defense to this is that half of our group didn't pay for a luxury boat. We paid for a premium, but that wasn't the issue. Jeremy's trying to spin this as we didn't like the size of our boat or we didn't like the style of our boat. The boat was inhabitable. Y'all saw the boat. Y'all saw the mold. Y'all saw the stains on the sheets. Yes, we originally paid for a premium boat and that did not include AC. But the reason why Jeremy had to upgrade us is because he didn't have another cabin that also paid premium to match us with. That's not my problem. He either had to upgrade us or downgrade the other group and give them a refund. So, like, it only made sense. Jeremy had given us, the 4 of us that paid for premium, a nice, clean, livable boat that just didn't have AC. We'd have been fine. We was already preparing for that. We did not expect or ask for the upgrade. Instead, he gave us a boat with sewage problems, mold, roaches, all these different issues that he was on. He knew this boat had this problem. And instead of trying to replace the boat in week 1 when he should have, when he was on a boat and saw it was not up to standard, he just made a plot to pass it on to somebody else. Shots from Chris's videos, but pause to read. There are more people confirming that he tried to take the same boat in week 1. Again, from Chris's videos, even more people confirming he tried to take the same boat in week 1. Y'all see this comment right here? Jeremy stole my boat, and I've been dying to talk.
Child, a hot ghetto mess. A hot ghetto mess. A hot ghetto mess. So what I'll do is I got some texts and some emails from you guys with Jeremy's information. I'll do a little bit of digging into him. I'm more interested in what he was doing prior to Yacht Week, and why the other girl's video we saw on Instagram stated that he had a lot of other failed businesses that turned out to be scams. So I'm interested in seeing what exactly it is he had gotten himself into. But that's all I have for you guys. Thanks for joining us on this series of, I guess, your daily dose of scammers. We'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And again, please, if you have any tips or any other stories you wanted us to talk about or just cover, just send it here at nosybystandards.com and we'll get right into it. Okay. All right, you guys. Bye bye.